Arcana, and today I built a swamp in Willow Creek just because I really wanted to try out the new terrain tools, and because I really just wanted to build a swamp with all the new lily pads and the new stuff that was added. And I did have a lot of fun, but I also ran into a couple of problems that I will highlight during the video. So if you run into these two, you know what to do. Especially like doing play testing, I noticed a lot of routing issues that happened, so stay tuned for that one. But yeah, I hope that you're safe and stuff, because floods and all that. Yeah, sorry that there was not a speed build last week, but you now get one with terrain tools, so I guess that's a pro. But yeah, I started out building this pond area, and I really wanted to put like a lot of stuff in there. At the time though, we didn't had tool and better build buy back yet, so I built that with completely vanilla at first, and later on, when both better build buy and tool are back, I will start to try and put a lot more landscaping in there and use a lot of more debug stuff to make it look even more like a swamp, because we actually got some really good swamp items in the base game, and the new the new willow tree from Cottage Living, I think that might be my favorite item in the entire pack, that one tree. It's just a really good tree, But yeah, I had the rough idea of wanting to have a main house and a shack in the back that like halfway goes across the swamp. And at first I wanted to have the house on a higher level than the actual shack in the back. And as you will see, that will not turn out great. It won't work. I think that for this lot, it doesn't work like that, because it is a lot that is too small. If I had more room for landscaping, I think I could have made it work the way I had it right now, it being on stilts and stuff. But it doesn't work. There's not enough space to make it work landscaping wise. So yeah, I end up changing the main house completely. I basically keep the shack the same, size wise and stuff. And I will change colors a lot, because at the beginning I had a reference picture where everything was pretty dark, and I was like, yeah, that's really cool, like having a dark swamp, like all moody and stuff. That would be so cool. But in The Sims, it just didn't look right. Also, it didn't look right in Willow Creek. I'm a person who loves to try and make my builds fit into the world, kinda. And for this build, I knew from the start that this is not going to perfectly fit into Willow Creek. But I still wanted to build it because I think it's just fun to build. And yeah, I did have a lot of fun, but in the end, it doesn't perfectly fit into the world of Willow Creek, because it is a swamp. We don't have a proper swamp world. I think in a world like maybe in I think Granite Falls, is it? I think Granite Falls would be better for this. I don't have Granite Falls though, because I don't have the pack, so I had to build it in Willow Creek. I still think that if you would change the other lots in the Foundry Cove to also be more swampy, to be a swamp too, that this build would fit in pretty well, because you have the swamp in the background, you have the industrial complex, and you kind of have houses that do look like swamp houses in the back. So I think you could make it work. I kind of want to try it and like make the Foundry Cove a proper swamp, maybe even put Shreks' house in and stuff, just because I want to try it. And I think it would be pretty cool, I'm not gonna lie, just to play like in the swamp area. And I think it would be pretty cool for a starter home area too, to be proper swamp-ish. Who wants to live in the swamp? Nobody really. That's why the houses are so cheap. Sims economy finally making sense. Or at least in my idea. But yeah, you see me struggling with the roof right now. What can I say except, oh boy, the roof was something else on both times that I made it, because I completely demolished the first house and built it again. I had to use a lot of roofing tricks for this one just because it just would not work out, and the house really was weirdly shaped. At the end, not in this version, but in the other version, I actually had to add a balcony because otherwise I couldn't make the roof work. For this one, my initial idea was to have 2 stories, have it like high up and, you know, have basically enough room for 3 bedrooms, because I also wanted this to be useful for the household that normally lives here, which is Summer, Liberty, and Travis. And the 3 of them are like best friends and stuff, but both Summer and Liberty are kind of attracted to Travis. So the whole storyline, if you would play with them, is to kind of see if Summer or Liberty gets the boy. And yeah, they both like have one trait in common with him, which I find really, really cool. And in the end, I think I tried to like give them equally sized rooms. But for this house right now, it just wouldn't work out because I couldn't get 3 bedrooms in, which was really annoying. So my initial idea was to put 1 bedroom into the shack and like 2 bedrooms in the house, which I really didn't like because it wasn't equally sized. It felt unfair. This was another reason why I decided to bulldoze the main house, or not bulldoze it, because I had to delete it like 1 by 1, like 1 room by 1 room. And also, if you are wondering why now I have a foundation on the house and not the stilts anymore, when you try to draw rooms with the stilts, you might get errors. So I changed it back to a foundation just to make the floor plan. And after that, I changed it back. But that doesn't really matter because I bulldozed the whole thing anyways. It's just stilts. I love stilts in theory, but they're not perfect. Like, it's a process to work with them too. But another thing that I noticed, about this time was that the stilts are really annoying when you try to make a pond underneath them. The pond will stay, it will still look good, but you can't put decorations there, even with 2. Later on, while playtesting, I got a lot of routing issues just because of that. And yeah, that was really annoying. So my next idea was to basically build the house on the ground and then build a bigger upstairs. And my idea to make that work was that I pretend there was a very, very small main stone house that used to be on the lot, and like it got renovated, and now there's like wood sidings everywhere where it was renovated, and that's why it's now bigger on the upstairs than on the downstairs level. And that's why it's all not, hanging over the swamp that much. It's not on stilts and stuff. So that was my initial idea, to kind of make this house work and make it bigger. And this also gave me the idea of basically creating floating platforms for the outside area that I wanted to have. So I could more easily actually decorate the swamp underneath, because if you use a floating platform instead of the stilts, it works. You can still decorate under there and your Sims won't get routing issues. So if you have problems trying to figure that one out, there you go. Just use floating platforms instead. I can really recommend it. Plus you can still use columns to kind of pretend you have stilts. This is what I later did here. And yeah, it completely works out. I think the best columns to use for that are the ones from Snowy Escape, because they basically look the same like the stilts that we also got with Snowy Escape. So I honestly think that they are perfect for this purpose. And also, as you can see, I managed to squeeze 1 more room in the downstairs level to create the deck upstairs, and then have like the rounded deck on the side, and have the other 2 decks that are also connected to the 1 room on stilts. I kept them like that actually, just because I wanted to have this cool platform thingy, and it didn't quite work out when I tried to do it on the other level. I think mainly because of the whole platform and the stair thing, and that stair gave me a whole lot of trouble otherwise, so I just kept it like that and removed some of the decorations I had put under there originally, and just made it work that way. So don't worry, the house is fully functional. I playtested it. Oh boy, the playtesting was a whole other thing. Am I glad I didn't record it? I would have preferred to record it, but I did not think it would be any important at all. But yeah, here at the front of the house is basically where I will add a balcony to make the roof work, because the third floor that I wanted to have upstairs and kind of hidden in the roof, there just wasn't enough space for it. So yeah, in the end I tried to roof the house that way, and that didn't work out, so balcony it was. And with the balcony it finally worked out, and I think the balcony is kind of a cool addition. Liberty is the one who will get a room with the balcony in addition, so lucky her, I guess. But therefore Summer gets like the more expensive room, I would like to say, and therefore Travis gets kind of a little bit of a bigger room, so I think it's still fair. But yeah, for the outside area I thought that like a sitting area on the deck that is connected to the house would be pretty nice, and like, you know, just having some sort of, I think it's called pergola, you know, just something to protect your Sims a little bit from the sun. The next thing I was really struggling with were, for this particular case, the windows, because I wanted to have basically two types of windows to more or less enforce the idea that the house was renovated, you know. And at first I thought that, you know, using the big base game windows would be really, really cool, just to just have a lot of light in there, and, you know, not make it too modern, but, you know, kinda. And I think it turned out cool, and I really liked them. I ended up keeping them. The only thing that kind of bugged me about them was that the color was not what I wanted. I would have liked to have a different brown tone, but that wasn't possible, just because these windows only have 4 swatches, which is really annoying, because I really love those windows. Then I decided for the side windows that maybe the ones from, what's it called, Stranger would be cool, because they kind of have a similar color swatch. But in the end I swapped them out, because the similar color swatch was not really what I wanted. The color contrast wasn't big enough, and it looked like the windows were all like placed in the same, you know, era, and that's not what I wanted. And so I ended up changing these windows to what I had on the shack previously, and I also changed the shack a lot again. And I think now I'm trying to get the swamp to work, because I finally had a little bit more of debugs and stuff, because the first update got released for Better Build Pie. So I started to work a little bit more on the swamp, and then work on the floor plan that works. And for this one I actually used a lot of spandrels, which I think I had a lot of fun designing the floor plan, just because of the idea of having the house been renovated before. So the spandrels are now there where they used to be, the walls and stuff. And I think that's really, really, like, it's just in general a cool thing when you have the opportunity to do that in The Sims. And it, for me as a builder, that was really, really fun, and I kind of want to do it again just because it was fun trying to figure it out. Also, one little bit of tea that I have to spill here is about the ducks, because, oh boy, it is so annoying that they don't snap to the water. Can we just, you know, have stuff that is supposed to be in the water snap to the water, please? Like, why is it snapping to the terrain? I don't want my ducks to swim the terrain. I want them in water, please. They have a swimming animation. Just let me place them perfectly on my water line. That was really annoying. That is the one thing that really annoys me about the update. Like, from the bottom of my heart, it seriously annoys me. And now you also see the thing that I had with the stairs, the little quarrel, and yeah, I ended up removing the stairs and placing them again, just because it just wouldn't work out with the terrain. And I cut the part out where I not accidentally, but I deleted the part where that's still on the stilts, to try and make it work without being on stilts, you know, as a flying platform. And oh boy, that didn't work out at all. Oh boy, and it looked horrible while doing it. Like, you don't want to see. You just don't. But yeah, working a little bit more on landscaping, doing more terrain paint and stuff, and yeah, just in general trying to finish the outside a little bit more before I move on to the inside, because the landscaping I will this time only complete at the end, for the sole reason of Better Build By not being updated yet, because this update did shoot a couple of things. I noticed, for example, that the more columns mod is broken, which really makes me sad, because I really wanted to, when the pack came out, create a new sim, create a new save, and get playing, and then I noticed, oh, cast columns are broken. And yeah, I already started like creating the sim, and I'm already attached to it, and now I have to complete it with broken cast columns. And yeah, it was weird, but I completed her, and I'm really happy how she turned out. For those of you who are interested, right now I'm playing off camera with a witch who lives in a nice little cottage in the new world, and it is really nice to play with her, mainly because the house challenges, they really challenge you this time. I really like the addition of being able to make yourself an actual challenge, you know, and actually having it called challenge and stuff. But yeah, now you can see I'm finally adding the debug landscaping. Finally, the update was there. I was so happy when I could just add these things. Happiness all around. And yeah, that new willow tree, I think it's one of my favorite items in game. Like, seriously, it's an amazing tree, and it reminds me a lot of trees that are like in my home area, which is really, you know, hearts and happiness. So yeah, I was really happy to be able to place these trees. Just happiness. And I think it turned out pretty cool. I'm kind of proud of my swampy area, and I don't know if I would want to play in it or just, you know, have it in the game, have it be able to be renovated in Dream Home Decorator, have it be able to, you know, visit with your Sims and stuff. I think this is like a good background build, just because I think that it is too personalized already to be played in for your individual families. This build is like highly focused on the needs of those 3 Sims that I had in mind for this. So if you would want to renovate it for your own Sims use, like, this house could also be pretty cool to play in. But if you don't want to renovate it, it would be better as a background house, I think. But yeah, that's that much to that. In the inside, I kind of had the idea of this house kind of already came with furniture, so the 3 of them just decided to, let's just keep it. Not our style, but we can change it later. Not right now. It's more important to get the party shack going, because that little shack in the background is going to be the party area of the house, which I think is really cool, to just have a party in the swamp. And yeah, that's the whole idea that I built that shack around, and I think it really suits the 3 of them. And yeah, I'm really happy with that. And like, the inside is a lot more classy, and you wouldn't expect a giant party shack in the back when you walk into the house the first time, I think. So yeah, that was kind of the idea behind that. I did put like some more modern stuff in there, some more, you know, kind of modern decorations. I did put like a keyboard downstairs to like show, yeah, this house is like not as classy as you might think. But then also there's a giant piano upstairs too. They have like this room, which is like more of a hangout room, kind of, you know, watching TV, eating your meals, and, you know, just hanging out, coming into the house, and, you know, having the ability to just put your stuff down, relax. And oh yeah, now that I see it again in the recording, the curtains, oh my gosh, that's been so annoying. Like, I just want to be able to turn off clipping just for a moment so I can place my curtains. Please, just let me turn off clipping. It's annoying, especially like with windows where you wanted to snap to the other one, but it just doesn't. You know what I mean. Yeah, now I'm working on like the entryway, and I think the entryway turned out kind of cozy, which I really like. It still looks kind of classy, which is also what I was going for, but it does have that little modern touch where, you know, yeah, Liberty and Summer did turn the wheel there, and like they decided we need a big shoe rack and we need a big closet to put our stuff once we enter the room again. And I think that's really, really nice to have, you know, just giving the house a little bit more personality. But yeah, for the upstairs, then again, I'm going to put into the room with a lot of windows. There's going to be a piano in there, and it's going to be like a really, really formal study where you would, I don't know, invite your parents over to show them how great you take care of the house and how amazing you now are and how, you know, mature you are and stuff like that. Like, that's the kind of room I'm imagining. And for the kitchen, I kind of also tried to keep it more classy. Like, they didn't even care to replace the appliances, you know. Why should you? It's not like, you know, you're going to cook a lot. You're just going to get Zoomers, because Zoomers is now a thing in The Sims, which I think is also really funny and cool. And I think for gameplay features, it does make a lot of sense to now have actually Sims that really despise cooking and just want the fast food life. And I think that's really, really cool. I'm really on board with that one. And yeah, that's kind of the kitchen, you know, just a show-off kitchen in my mind. But you know, whatever you play with it, it's going to be your kitchen. And for the bathroom, I just tried to put like a lot of things down. You could also play with laundry in here, which is something that I really found enjoyment in lately, especially because they finally fixed one of the greater glitches that came with the laundry pack, and I'm really happy about that. And now playing with laundry is really, really fun, and yeah, I like laundry day. And on the same note, in Buster Dust, they did fix a lot of glitches that one had, which I'm really happy about. But, big but, I unfortunately found out that there's another one. Again. You remember that a lot of people had like, they had concerns that when you play off the grid with Buster Dust, that you can't vacuum. Yeah, exactly that happened now, because even if you upgrade it with that one eco upgrade, the vacuum will still not recharge itself and you still won't be able to vacuum. And yeah, it's really annoying when you want to play with Buster Dust and the off the grid trade, which I'm kind of doing with my witch in my new save, and I don't want to turn off the dust system because I want my dusty, cozy cottage, but I don't want to have it set on fire every 2 minutes because of those stupid angry dust bunnies. So I just want to brush a little bit of dust out. I just add a broom for someone's sake, you know. But yeah, we're now definitely moved on to the upstairs. You saw the formal room that I talked about earlier, and now I'm doing Liberty's and Summer's room. Summer's room got a lot of expensive workout equipment, and I put some debug decorations in there and like a lot of sports pictures. And for Liberty's room, I kept it a little bit more girly, a little bit more, you know, crafty things, but you know, she's also a geek, so she does have like her tablet there, and in my mind she's a geek that loves to do fan art and, you know, loves to just create fan articles and stuff like that. So that's kind of the theme I was going with her room. And for Travis, I was going like the opposite direction. He's like the player geek. He just wants to play every video game. He's totally into Void Critters and everything. And I think that storyline is kind of cool for him, because I think it makes sense that he's like the geek that just stays indoors in his room for like days and doesn't talk to the girls at all. But the girls really, really like him and just they want to, you know. But all three of them love to party, so they have the party shack together, and I do like this household. I don't know if you've noticed, but I do like this household. But yeah, that was my idea for Travis' room and for Liberty's room, for Summer's room. And yeah, I'm really, really glad that I chose to do their lot this time, because I just had a lot of fun doing their rooms again. I renovated their houses multiple times and built new ones. I think this might actually not be my favorite version. I think my favorite version might still be the one I did for the Japanese-ish save file. If you didn't know, in my Japanese-ish save file, I have almost renovated every lot of Willow Creek. And I think I'm only missing like 4 lots or something. And that lot I already renovated, and I think it's one of my favorites. I have to show you at some point. Like, I will make a tour once I finish the last 4 lots in Willow Creek, and we're going to make a grand tour, and I show you every lot and give you a little bit of backstory and stuff. And yeah, I don't know if you've noticed, in this lot you will also find some kleiner neat little secrets in the ponds and stuff, and I hope you will enjoy that. Yeah, now moving on to the outside area, I just put some furniture on the patios and like a bar on one of the patios in front of the party shack, because you know, you gotta have an outside drinking area. And for this for this house, the shadows are I don't know if I kind of have a little bit of a quarrel with the shadows, just because, you know, the shadows are good when you build on a lot, but when you're trying to place you know, the umbrellas and stuff to shield your Sims from the sun when they're sitting down, it either works really well or not at all. And yeah, I have a little bit of a quarrel with that one while building, because I just wanted to make it make sense. But yeah, now enjoy some screenshots, and yeah, I hope you enjoyed the speed build. I definitely had a lot of fun. Again, while playtesting, I noticed a lot of errors with this one, so I had to move like a lot of the swamp decorations that were underneath my platforms and stuff, and I also had to change out the door in the shack that leads into the shack. At first you saw I had the giant island living one. That one, for whatever reason, it just didn't work. My Sims could not enter. I have no idea why. It didn't work. I replaced it with, I think, Dream Home Decorator. So know that that one's different. But yeah, otherwise, thumb start above the door, move objects on, and you get your 4 differently colored trash cans for recycling. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you enjoyed the speed build. And yeah, I see you in whichever video, stream, or whatever you will watch next. Bye!